crew, Troy Anderson here. Welcome to the first episode of a new project that Perform Better has been super kind enough. I really appreciate taking a shot at it anyway. You see, we've been doing metabolic stability for about 4 years. I had this idea, shot the idea over. They said we'll give it a try. So this is, I guess, what you call the pilot episode. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you give some feedback that we can keep doing it, because I would like to keep doing it. We're going to call this the FarmStrongStrengthAcademy. We're not shooting at FarmStrong today because we were under a little bit of a tight timeline, but we're going to try to shoot most of the stuff at FarmStrong because it's real world, real functional applications, and that's kind of what we're all about, both me and Josh at Metabolic Stability, and what this is going to be about as well. The focus and the primary focus with the FarmStrongStrengthAcademy is going to be on the kettlebell. It's going to be on getting more mileage out of your kettlebell. It's going to be how to use your kettlebell more effectively, how to move it forward. There's a lot of pieces. The kettlebell, unfortunately, in my opinion, has been really narrowed down to 2 or 3, maybe 4 things that people are using it for. And I think it's actually undercut a lot of people, strength coaches, fitness coaches, and just general users on the value that the kettlebell brings to them. And we want to expand that value, and that's what we're going to do with FarmStrongStrengthAcademy, is expand that value and bring it to you in a really accessible way, an inclusive way that you can get not only more mileage out of your kettlebells, but better ways to use your kettlebells that everybody can do, not just the elite, not just the people that are super experienced and committed to the practice per se, but for everybody. So that's kind of the goal and mission of what we're trying to do here today. The title of this little piece that we're doing is, we're going to call this the Forgotten Squat. Can't wait to show you the rest of it. So today we're talking about the Forgotten Squat. I talked in the little intro that we've got real narrow in the kettlebell world, and I don't really understand it at all. I'm not going to try to understand it anymore, but I'm just going to try to make it better, because I'm about finding the solution, not worrying about trying to understand things so much. So what we have here, if you can see, I have 48 kilos worth of kettlebells. I've got a 48 kilo kettlebell, but then I've got these guys. It's a couple 24s, right? And real simply put, what's the difference between these two things? Well, the simple answer to that is I can train twice as many people to get strong with those as I can this. And so what I'm trying to get to here is that when we've gotten down this path of the goblet squat, which is a great drill, but when we've gotten down this path of the goblet squat, we've kept going in this linear progression. I don't know if it's because of Instabrag and Flakebook that people want to post these things to show that they can do these heavier weights. I don't know what. But the path has been the goblet squat at 24 and just to linearly add, which is cool. And if you can handle it, awesome. But here's the thing. I can still get the same load here. I can goblet squat my brains out. But the better thing is I can double kettlebell front squat. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's take a look at the technical side of this thing and why this is a forgotten squat, and why I think that this double kettlebell front squat is super valuable. Like, you're not giving up load, and what you're adding is so super valuable. So let's take a peek. So we're going to grab this 48 and just take a look at where it lays and why is it so popular and good. Here, right? Up into the goblet squat position. It's nice. It's real close to the midline. Like, it runs right down my center, which allows me to do really good squatting patterns, right? I can drop down in this thing. I've got a nice vertical torso, and I can come out of that bottom position. Fantastic drill, right? Great mobility piece where it's great squatting motion. We can load it. The limiting factor obviously becomes holding onto that heavy single weight. And it keeps it close to the midline, which makes us feel more stable and able to squat well. A simple progression is to go this double kettlebell front squat. So again, same load, exactly the same load, but what have we done here? Boom. We've moved wider outside the midline, right? All the fantastic things. So it's a slight advancement, but nonetheless valuable because we got the kettlebells outside the midline. I can still hold a really nice vertical position, but guess what? This is drawn in. Drawn in all the musculature, all that sling system, all the core pieces, the obliques that's so important, the holding position, that upper back piece is really critical. By moving those kettlebells, I mean, look how far I moved those kettlebells. On me, pretty average sized guy, I maybe moved them outside 10 inches. So we changed that holding position. We talk a lot about this in metabolic stability, holding position, especially with the ultimate sandbag. Holding position to kettlebell, it's one of the really, really unique things to the kettlebell. So we're getting equal load, we're getting just as great a squat technique and range of motion, but we've just increased the training effect by moving 8 to 10 inches outside the range, getting more mileage out of the smaller kettlebells. Instead of moving that linear pattern, let's take a real quick look at it. So let's pretend there's a 16 and a 12 and an 8. Like, what do most people have? They have around these sizes. Well, we can, instead of just going this linear progression with the goblet squat, we can do double 8s, which means we can probably press, and we have just as much load as this guy. So you can kind of see how this works here. Like, you're getting mileage, and that's my thing. I want to maximize the mileage, maximize your investments that you're spending with the great companies like Perform Better to get the most out of it. And that's why I think it's really, really important for us to take a good hard look at the high value of the double kettlebell front squat. Hey crew, so what we're going to do as kind of a final piece of the FarmStrongStrengthAcademy is to give you something highly usable. This month we're talking about the forgotten squat and how just a mere matter of inches can really make night and day difference in progressing your squat training with kettlebells, but also just your squat training in general, and how you can tie in more musculature, more bang for your buck, both metabolically and from a strength standpoint. What we're going to talk about here today is also the concept of planking. Dr. McGill has obviously brought that to the top of consciousness for many of us, and it's been really, really important for us as a community. But we're going to talk about how we're going to apply that with the double kettlebells. Personally, I've been working a lot of complexes lately, so often in these little pieces, if we continue to do them, hopefully, that you're going to see what I'm working on personally. I've been working complexes. Oftentimes repetitions and doing movements are associated with complexes. This is going to be associated with holding or holding position or planking, if you will, because often people don't look at holding positions like we do with the kettlebells and the ultimate sandbag as kind of movements, if you will, but they really are. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an ascending, descending lat. Real simply put, getting this awesome dead stock clean position here. So I'm just going to do a couple, but you're going to do 10 double kettlebell front squats, whatever loads right for you, your client, whatever. So let's pretend I've done my 10, and then I'm going to lock in and hold. So I've talked about this in a few of my other episodes and things. I have this little thing called tailpipe, which is fantastic. I got from the guys at Jim Jones. But just squeezing the glutes, looks like a plank, doesn't it? Right, 10 seconds, boom, coming out of that. And then we're just going to work down. So it's going to be 8 double front squats, a 20-second double kettlebell racks hold. And just going down the chart, so it's going to go even numbers. So it's going to go 10 and 8, 6 and 4, and then 2. And you're going to work from 10 seconds to 60 seconds hold. So the last set, when your legs are probably getting fatigued, you're going to do less squats, but more holding. So just as we talked about in that very first piece about where the midline is, the legs are going to get work early on the front end. The core is really going to work because we need that core to be stable and be able to have some endurance to it, for lack of a better term. And so that's how you're going to do this really, really simple applicable piece. Now let's tie this back into planking a little bit. Let's make it a little more complete drill. We can do the exact same thing with push-ups and regular planks, right? All we're going to do is add this on the back end of your front squats, because the front squats are the critical piece, right? You go 10 push-ups and then a 10-second plank, right? We're all real familiar with this. And now we have a little bit more complete full body piece. So hopefully you're going to enjoy this little quick actionable piece that you can put in play, apply whatever your scenario is, and get some really good high quality use out of it. Talk to you soon. Hey folks, Trey Anderson here. Thanks again for stopping by the Farm Strong Strength Academy. Really appreciate you taking a few minutes of your time to watch the pilot episode, if you will. Huge thank you for Perform Better for even just considering this and letting me run at least one of these. I can't say enough of all the great things that they do for myself and Josh with the metabolic stability, but also the industry as a whole. It's a really, really great organization, and we should do the best to support great people, in my opinion. This is the format. Like I said, we're going to try to give you some cool environments, some different environments. We're going to show you some real life applications. at the Farm Strong Strength Academy, real world applications, because that's the direction I want to show you, the crossover, the correlation between real world activity, real world labor, if you will. I mean, not a lot of us are working in that area, but it has application, especially with some of the people we train, and what we're doing with the kettlebell, and to expand those horizons, to make the kettlebell a feature of strength and endurance and conditioning and athleticism, and also to be accessible to you guys, to be able to show you things that I know that you can put in play with it. So again, thanks for you watching. If you fire off some good feedback, that'd be awesome. We'd love to do another episode of this. Again, thank you to Perform Better, and can't wait to hopefully do another one.